A prawn bisque is a miscellaneous kind of soup. It's a soup that incorporates the whole of the animal, the whole of the prawn. So therefore, when we come to thickening the soup, it's actually the shells of the animal that thicken the soup at the end. So with no further left to do, here I have some butter and some rapeseed oil. Now the reason I've got the two together is because I know that the butter will burn easily at high temperatures, whereas the rapeseed oil will help the butter flavour the dish, but also keep that temperature nice and even, not allowing the butter to burn as such. As I said in my introduction, we are going to use the whole of the prawn. So here I have 300 grams of prawns, whole prawns, shell on, and into the hot oil, I'm going to add my prawns. I'm just going to gently roll them around, and you'll notice they will start to change colour as soon as they start to heat through in the oil. I want these prawns to be lightly roasted, lightly fried before I add the following ingredients. Just allow that a little bit of time to cook out, to cook through. You can see that they're changing colour. I can smell that they're cooking. I can smell that the flavours are already coming out of these prawns with the butter included. Into my pan with the butter and the prawns, I'm just going to add a little bit of colour, a little bit of flavour. So I'm going to incorporate some tomato paste. This will give the finished dish a little bit of tomato flavour, but also a nice pink colouring once I've added my cream at the end. Just allow that tomato paste to cook out a few minutes, allowing that natural oils to leach out of the tomato paste. As you can see, there is a little bit more oil now in the pan due to the oil content of our tomatoes. I'm going to add a little bit of fire, a little touch of paprika to add to that flavour. Add a touch of sherry just to loosen up the bottom of the pan, bring any of that residue off the bottom, adding colour to the dish, adding colour to the soup. Once that settled down a little bit, I can shake in some flour, gently stir that in. Once it's all been incorporated, I can then add in my fish stock. So again, this soup and the quantity you've got, a good litre of our fresh fish stock that we made earlier. Just going to bring that back up to the boil, allow it to simmer for 10 minutes before we blend the soup and finish the soup. Our prawn bisque has now been simmering for 20 minutes. The prawns are nicely cooked. The sauce the soup itself has formed nicely. We're now ready to blend. As I said at the beginning, the soup itself is thickened by the whole of the prawn. So into our blender, I'm adding the shells, heads, everything in, so that the soup it will thicken itself up. Holding the blade, I'm going to pour our consommé into a chinois. We're using the back of a ladle. I will pass through all our soup, leaving behind the stuff that we don't want. Before I serve the soup, there's just a few more checks I want to make. Obviously, we need to make sure it's seasoned correctly. Doesn't need a lot, but does need a little bit of salt. A couple of twists of pepper. Throw that in. Soup now ready to go. Just going to ladle it gently into our bowl. And before I serve it up, I'm just going to do a gentle swirl of cream. And just a few snips of chive across the top, just for the little bit of extra colour.